Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made for real estate agents who want to be top producers in your desired market anywhere in the country. We, of course, feature top producers here, and we are powered by our local company here called Tampa Bay Real Producers here on a local level. And as you may or may not know, we have a bunch of great preferred partners who support our local community. And we have one of those preferred partners on the show today, and that is none other than Rebecca Larrea. How are you, Rebecca?
I'm doing great, Don. Thank you
good to
so
have
much.
you here.
I'm happy to have you.
You're happy to have me here?
I'm happy to have you. I'm happy to be. Well, I am happy to have you after the gala last night, right? I was like, it falls on the Friday the day after. I'm sure you would clear his schedule.
I know. We had quite a night last night, so if any of you had a chance to be here, we had an amazing event. About 300 of the top producing agents in Tampa Bay were here. We gave out 15 awards last night, so congratulations to all the winners. You will see, by the way, who all of them are on our YouTube channel. We'll be posting that when Rob, by the way, the magician of video behind us, is going to be editing an entire video for a recap of last night, and that'll include all the list of winners and everything on social media. I'm sure there's a ton of pictures already floating around. There will be more that we'll post on our page as well. That you'll see soon. So again, congratulations to all the winners. But today's show is about Rebecca. So let's dive into your story a little bit for people who might not know it. How did you get into Tampa Bay? Did you grow up here? If not, how'd you get here? And Rebecca, by the way, is with MI Mutual Mortgage. So we'll be diving into that too. How did you end up getting interested in finance? We'll start there.
I am interested in finance. I grew up, I was always self-employed. I worked for my parents in a completely different field. And my husband.
What field was that?
Court reporting and legal videography.
Nice.
Yeah. So
perfect for the mortgage lending world.
Right. I mean, I'm saying. So, fun fact, I don't have a resume. I've always been self-employed. I always just kind of had that hustle and that ingrained work ethic. And then my husband has been in mortgages since like the early 2000s.
Okay.
So in about 2012, he was like, well, I'm tired of like working for someone. I want to open up my own broker shop.
Okay.
And famous last words. I was like, I can do QuickBooks. I can help with the payroll. Fast forward to now, 13 years later, as a licensed mortgage loan originator, I use my Spanish as my second language. So I use that to help the Hispanic community. And I think it's just one of those funny stories. I always like hearing about agents and how they kind of fell into it. It's not like you're in kindergarten. I want to be a mortgage lender when I grow up. You just kind of... It organically happens.
Yeah, very true. I don't think most people grow up saying, I can't wait to be a real estate agent either. It just kind of falls in that way. And some people are great at sales. They have the knack and opportunity presents itself. So it makes sense. Was that in Tampa Bay that you grew up?
Yeah, I'm a Tampa native.
You are local. Okay.
I am local. And it's funny because I used to say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Tampa. Cool. Where are you from? Tampa. Nice. But where are you from?
That's
I was
right.
like, Tampa.
Yeah, you don't meet a ton of the local yokels for sure. Most of us are like me, coming from the Northeast or some other areas, Midwest.
Well, that's what they say. Then they look at me like I'm a unicorn. I'm like, there's actually like quite a lot of us.
I'm sure you've seen Tampa change a lot over the last years or so, huh?
Oh my gosh. It is incredible. And I always say now it is more like a lifestyle, really, than a place to live. I say that
Have you ever wanted to live anywhere else?
No, not really. I love traveling, but I'm content with this being my home base.
Okay.
And I was with the team the other week out of Michigan, where my corporate office is, though I've never been to Michigan. And they were like, it just snowed yesterday. I'm like, we don't have that problem down here.
It's too bad for you. Yeah, not an issue.
Yeah.
So did you say that your husband started MI Mutual?
No, he started in mortgages.
Got it.
In the early 2000s.
Okay.
So
and that's how you got your teeth wet a little bit and learned the business?
Yeah, that's what I did. I started out on the admin processing side for like a decade, and then certain life circumstances changed a few years ago, and you kind of reevaluate. And I just have kind of the personality suited for, client facing relationships. I was tired of being in all the paperwork and missing out on that relationships with agents and clients. And shocking, if you've ever met me, I can talk to a wall. So, I pretty much just work with people. Disclaimer, working with me generally results in friendship.
Yep.
So,
which is the goal. How did you get connected with MI then?
So we started out, great question. So in 2012, we started a broker shop.
Okay.
And then a few years later for us, I liked having a little more control over the process rather than having a bunch of outlets. So we moved over to MI Mutual Mortgage,
Okay.
which is short for Michigan Mutual. And our corporate office is out of Port Huron, Michigan. So we are a lender.
Got it. A boutique lender.
Yeah, I do broker and have some portfolio products, but I can pretty much do anything in residential lending. So I like it. Our company is phenomenal, my team, the culture. So it was just a better fit and more aligned with us and our goals.
From your perspective, Rebecca, what do you think are a distinction maybe that agents should know about working with somebody who's maybe like sole broker versus having the boutique lending side that you bring to the table as well? Is there anything you think is important that they should understand?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, ultimately I always say about mortgages, it's not you pull the same can of Campbell's soup off the shelf and it fits every client. So I would say the same thing. It's a lot in experience, education. It's like I am the co-pilot. My job is to land the plane on time with the least amount of turbulence as possible.
Yep.
So I think that they're just different, end lenders, retail lenders, brokers. It's kind of an apples to oranges comparison. There's benefits and probably likely drawbacks to both. But for me and my clientele and the agents that I work with, it's a phenomenal fit. None of us can do it all, Don.
Sure, of course.
So we got to have.
You want to have a specialty and be what's the whole adage? Masters of one or none,
jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still trying to get my brain working today,
and
so
it's
it's all good.
I mean, listen, you're gonna get it. It's fine. We're here. It's Friday.
Amen. The weekend is here.
Yeah.
So, anything you feel like is important just now in the current market that people should be aware of in the lending world? What are you spending your time and energy on studying, learning? Anything you feel like is important right now that people should be aware of?
Such a great question. So many things. I feel like for agents, especially, there's a few things in particular, right? Because it's not so much that it's a downturn in the market, right? There's business out there. We need to go and get it. It's a time for exposure. This is the time for opportunity. I think with the tariffs and the economic uncertainty shaking things up, and a couple of weeks ago there were some rate drops. It's really not rates dropping. They're kind of rate bounces, and there's going to be short windows. The descent to lower rates is not going to be a straight shot down. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But I think one of the most important things that I'm leaning into lately, and I do this myself, is really staying in flow with your closed client database. One of the major things that has happened recently is Rocket Mortgage's play they've acquired Mr. Cooper and Redfin. So our closed client database has never been more under siege than it is now. Because they're going to make a play to be essentially a one-stop shop.
Yep.
Right? Service the loans, fund the loans, send them to discount brokerage agents.
Yep.
And so these are our clients that we've served. So in that, just, really
speaks to the importance of the relationship that you were talking about before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, as agents and also as lenders, the onus is on us to stay top of mind with each other, with our clients, doing, annual real estate reviews with clients. Any way to create that additional touch point is going to be so important because there are headlines. People are reading them. Yeah. We must be the knowledge brokers, right? To talk to the clients about that. Otherwise, they're talking to their friends, family, coworkers, or like WebMDing themselves a mortgage and thinking that they can sell their own home.
Totally. And I guess, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that might be the evolution for a lot of people when they're online at first, just thinking I can do it myself and find some discount broker and figure out like they're just trying to price shop possibly. And then once they get into it, it's like, you know what? I probably need to have a real professional helping me through this process, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, do not cut your own bangs. Please do not do that. You
probably wouldn't do your own heart surgery. You might want to figure out someone who can help you with the finance
certainly
side.
Would not.
Yes.
I do not scrub in for surgery. And I always, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, that's so important, working with a professional. You think you're going to save some money here or there, but especially agents, like they are the doctors of the real estate market. You know what I'm saying? It's so important. They insulate you from a lot of the process in real estate. It's very complex.
Yeah.
you
There's a lot
know,
of moving parts, and one little thing
yeah,
can really make an entire change as far as the deal falling through or not, right? And actually closing.
100%.
I'm curious, you mentioned the tariff effect earlier. What have you noticed, or what do you see, what do you think potentially could be the case with the uncertainty of the markets due to like the tariff conversation? Has that already
Mhm.
affected things in your opinion?
It has. A couple weeks ago, for example, it shook things up going, and there was a Friday in particular that everything was looking really strong. So then it's looking good for home buyers, house hunting that weekend. And then Monday, the following Monday, started off strong as well. And by 4 p.m. on Monday, we saw an 80 basis point spike. So almost a 1% increase in rates
It's
like
crazy how
that.
fast it can happen. Yeah.
It's so fast. So that's what
And
I'm
that's just from like
saying.
some like Donald Trump tweet or something, right?
Yeah, I
Some
mean, it's
news
just, yeah,
cyber satellite thing.
exactly. It's just so volatile.
Yeah.
And so that's when I'm saying it's, not that the rates are dropping, they're going to be bounces and the market's going to quickly correct and stabilize. And so you'll see a lot of, servicers calling the clients, oh, let's capture the refinance business right now. But then it's really, hey, homeowner, like I have your best interest. I talked 3 people out of refinancing in the last week because the time wasn't right.
Right.
You refinance now, you're not going to recoup the savings. So it's really, these conversations are being had, and we need to be involved in these conversations with our clients to help guide them. And it's our responsibility. It's not their responsibility to call us.
Yeah. And again, that once again goes back to your whole point of the importance of the relationship, right?
Yes.
Got going on.
Thank you. This is what I asked him to be a little. Listen, you got to let me know.
Becca's looking fine over there, right? What we got? Some hair in the way? Blocking eye views?
You got to let me know. Well, listen.
You got some lipstick you want to pull out, Rob, and help?
I don't know. We need to get like makeup. We need hair and makeup in here. I'll get one of my sisters.
Makeup. Let's go.
You never know. We like pause and then I'll do it. But you never know. Sometimes you can't see like the whole side of my face. It's fine.
Do you have an
This is real
eyelash
life,
you want to blow
people.
off
This
or
is
anything?
real life. I appreciate it because I'm gonna watch this back and be like,
what about me, Rob?
Y'all did me a disservice.
Do you got a razor or something? I got to shave,
here.
I think, in the middle of the episode.
We're out of here.
All right. I wanted to talk a little bit more about you've mentioned a couple different times the importance of the relationship, right? And I think it sometimes can be taken for granted, maybe even in the lending space, like I said, where some people just think they can just do a search online, lock in a rate, and then boom, that's it, with no real relationship at all with whoever the professional is that they're working with. So walk me through a little bit some of the things that you feel like have worked really well for you over the years and building that trust, because if you're going to talk somebody out of a refi, like you said, there has to be an element of trust there for them to really respect your opinion and be willing to take that advice to make that decision. So walk me through that business model for you. How has that worked for you? What are some things that you've done that you feel like have really helped you establish that level of loyalty with your clients and the importance of that?
Oh, that's a great question. It's a heavy hitting question. We're really getting to the hard stuff here, Don. We're really getting deep.
Now that we got the hair worked out, we're good to go.
Listen, I'm saying I'm feeling clear headed. That's a great question. I think that just myself and my personality, like I'm a straight shooter. I'm very aware that I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and everyone's not for me, and I'm not for everyone. And that's okay. There's room for all of us in that. And that's speaking to agents and referral partners as well as clients.
Sure.
I'm not the advisor, the loan advisor that's going to tell a home buyer what they want to hear and blow smoke. Mm-hmm. Like, carry on if that's what you're looking for, because that's not me. I'm, not the lender that.
And there are many who are like that, because they just all they care about is getting to the closing table, no matter how they have to get there.
We get a bad rap. I know what y'all say about us. Communication, bait and switch. I know exactly what you say. I'm on a one-woman mission to overturn all of that. But as with agents, I'm very comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. I find in my experience, people can handle bad news. They don't like surprises. One of the very best things that I've done for myself professionally and personally is invest in professional coaching. I invested about 15 months ago into growth only coaching. So I get coached by 2 of the top 1% loan originators nationwide. We have a great community. We actually have our...
Is that the actual name of the coaching program?
It's called Growth Only Coaching.
Okay.
Yeah. If you are another loan officer watching this, we have a phenomenal... I don't know. Should I plug another Facebook group for loan officers?
Go for it.
Loan Officer Top Producer Exchange. You know, this is what I like about you and Real Producers, Don, is you guys are collaborative. There is room for all of us.
Totally.
Okay. So you're just handing out the knowledge. I love that.
We're just adding value. That's all we care about.
That's
right
what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's, you know, straight hair,
eyebrow blows, whatever it takes.
Next time we're gonna get them a stylist here. So anyone on future podcasts, you can thank me.
We do need to grow the staff. So
this is what I'm saying. I'll come work for free just to get exposure. You just pay for proximity. I'll be the touch-up crew. So investing in coaching really has taken me to the next level. It's hard to not level up professionally without also leveling up personally. And I'm using a lot of the tools and resources that I'm learning to pay it forward. I'm offering a better overall client experience. My communication and my process is dialed. I'm never leaving agents or clients with a question mark. I'm always letting them know what the next step is before they get there. And that just aligns with me because I'm really intentional about being honest and transparent as a person on, you know, a self-discovery, personal growth journey, as well as being a professional. And we talked before the podcast started about some of the amazing industry partners and agents that we have in common. And you had some conversations with yesterday. And there's just, you know, this Tampa Bay real estate industry is very unique. And we have a lot of just incredible people.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And so it's just
I love
really
what you're
exciting.
saying about the importance of coaching. And we preach that here a lot with agents, you know, just being able to grow and up their game with their team lead. A lot of times when I interview the top producers, that's one of the things that comes up is how they got a mentor or got a coach. And that was really important for them to take things to the next level and become a top producer in the field. And so, you know, we actually over the years established our own coaching program too. Top Producers Nation is now like an online community and a coaching program designed to try to help support more agents who want to be top producers, but they're just not quite there yet. And they might need some additional help on the way. But there are so many great programs out there. I know many people have thrived through like the Tom Ferry coachings and there's a Buffini real estate program. Yeah. There's a lot of different ones that I'm sure many of them do a great job. And that's, you know, you got to find something that's going to provide that level of support for you. And it's cool to hear even in the lending world, it's the same mindset. Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny because when, like I shared, I started out in the processing and admin side of mortgages. And then just almost 2.5 years ago, transitioned into like a producing loan officer role. So I'm great with mortgages. I'm good with people, but that's a very different position. You know what I mean? It's just a different skill set. And so I was lacking the systems, the accountability, things like that. And, you know, being that you guys have the top producer coaching thing, I would encourage anyone that's considering it or not sure, or you kind of feel alone and you're just kind of flapping in the wind, that, you know, at first I would not share that I had invested in coaching.
Sure.
I don't know. I was a little maybe self-conscious. I didn't know. And then being involved.
A lot of people are.
Yeah. And being, you know, you think like maybe you're holding up a sign that says, I need help. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm not good enough on my own or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And so it makes you a little self-conscious, which I think is human nature. But you know what I learned, and particularly coming and doing a lot of the panels, the pop panels on Thursdays, is you nailed it on the head. You talk to these top producers. They actively have one, if not two coaches. They've been professionally coached for decades before they turn into one. And it's really, you start leveling up and moving in different circles and seeing that it's not the stigma that I once initially thought it was. Yeah. It's actually almost like a badge of honor. Now I'm like, I invest in professional coaching. It's amazing. And then they're like, oh, okay, respect. Because the hard part, as you know, is not handing over the card.
Totally.
The hard part is the work behind it and holding yourself accountable and doing things differently.
Yeah, the whole thought process of wanting to be a lone wolf and be successful in that world is just, I think it's a myth. You know, if you really look at the people that have ever done anything worthwhile, there's a team of people involved. in that
Yeah.
process. There might be a face to the brand at times or whatever, but there's always a support team involved with coaching and other things
Yeah.
that are a big part in making that thing known, especially
Yeah.
nowadays where it's just so, busy and brand heavy. Like it's just hard to
Yeah.
be noticed in today's market with no matter what occupation you have and
Yeah.
building the right brand and the
It's
content.
true.
So without having a team of people that can help support you, it just doesn't really work,
Absolutely. And
Yep.
that's what we were talking about, the old adage. We're going to pull out all the cliches here today, but I heard something once and it's like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yep.
And so, that's another funny thing with my coaching is I thought, okay, I'm going to get the systems and trackers and accountability and the knowledge that I need to fill the gaps that I had.
Mhm.
I didn't bank on the incredible community, like
Yeah.
real producers of like-minded, collaborative, growth mindset people that were also looking to take themselves and their business to the next level. That's a different energy. We're
Yeah.
operating on a different frequency. Once you kind of open up and say, hey, I'm open, I'm checking my ego and my pride at the door, and I don't know everything.
Totally. And I think it does start with the mindset. Like you said, you have to be willing and vulnerable enough to take advice and realize that I can't figure it out all on my own. And it's funny how the most humble and at times most vulnerable people tend to also be the most successful.
Absolutely.
When they're just an open book on certain things. So yeah, I appreciate that. Would you say, how long have you been in the coaching program, you said?
About 15 months now. January of 2025 was a year for me.
And what, if you had to just identify one big domino that you think you've gotten from it so far, what would you say it is?
Wow. That's a heavy question. I think the list of what it hasn't given me is shorter. Just the hope. I think, I don't know, just the confidence. Sometimes we have this feeling like I'm meant for more. I can do more, but you don't know how to like channel it or how do I get there? And like manifest is such an overused like word right now. Like, you're not going to manifest deals as a new agent if you're not picking up the phone and making calls. You know what I mean? So I think the biggest domino for me is just earning it. Like I earned it. It's my own. And you can watch all the coaching, but if you don't implement, you know what I mean? Like what I've noticed too, and a lot from coming to the panels and then being in the business now for 2.5 years in this role and as well as coaching is with really successful people, the margin of learning something and executing is razor thin.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't waste time.
Yeah.
They implement.
Yeah. Like done is done. Done doesn't have to be perfect. So maybe the biggest domino kind of thinking aloud is just doing it, not analysis paralysis, just implement and go. And some days you can't see the forest for the trees. But when I look back, over the last 15 months, I'm like, damn, I did that. I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah. There's another adage. We like throwing adages out.
Oh my God. I got a lot of them.
What's the one about, the path to failure is filled with good intentions or something like that?
Oh, that's a good
Isn't
one.
that like a one?
Yeah, I heard another one was like the road, like failure is one exit off, like the exit before success. Like you just exit off. But it's true. Like imagine.
We haven't gotten any of them right today, but we're close. We got the points across anyway,
we got time. Eventually we'll get one. Here we go.
So do you feel like, I know we started talking about the importance of building relationships and how that's been kind of a way, whether you want to call it your superpower or the way that you've kind of differentiated yourself in the lending space. Do you think that the experience you've been investing in with coaching has played a big role in helping you build that type of loyalty with your clients? Is there been a connection there?
I do. Absolutely. And we touched on this at the beginning is really leading with value, whether or not that's with my clients or my agent partners. I'm the loan advisor. Like I move a little bit differently. I'm not calling you to turn you upside down and shake you for leads. I'm calling to say, hey, what do you have going on? I'm hosting this networking event. Come. I started doing annual mortgage reviews. They've been a big hit because of this. I created an annual real estate review framework for agents. Reaching out to clients, simple things that, even it sounds good, but listen, it's consistent. It's consistency. And I'm guilty of not doing some of the stuff that is so easy and you just haven't done it. And what is your excuse? We don't have an excuse. So simple things like clients reaching out, having a reason to call without it being like a sales pitch. Like the sales shtick just gives me like the ick.
Yeah, nobody likes the commission breath.
Right. And so now it's like, listen, I'm calling to wish you happy birthday, John Smith client. Like, I am so happy for you. Or like seeing people reach life milestones on social media. They had a grandkid, send them a present. You know what I mean? So it's just different things like that and leading with value. Hey, we know the headlines are out there. Do you have any questions? Is there anything I can clarify? Like, you know, I call myself a loan advisor, not because it sounds good, but because my relationship with clients extends beyond the closing table.
Totally.
You know, you're not going to hear from your average loan officer.
With our coaching program, we built it really on 4 principles. And one of the principles is leading with value, as you just said. So I think it's very aligned with, again, how a lot of top real estate agents operate. Is learning how to add value first, knowing that eventually maybe those people, people who are impressed by the value that you're leading with will end up becoming lifelong clientele. And it's just a way to distinguish yourself from really the majority of people who don't have that approach, where they're trying to just get business and they're not understanding the importance of leading with value first. So that's really, really important point. I'm glad you brought that up. I wrote down something else here.
I know. I feel like, should I be taking notes?
Something here. As a lender, I was curious your opinion on what do you think are the most important qualities for somebody to be a great lender?
Oh, that's a great question. I think communication. I think transparency, being comfortable, having uncomfortable conversations, and just really shooting people straight. Like, mortgages is not rocket science, but I help people build wealth through real estate and education. Use me as a resource. I'm on the client's timeline. They're in the driver's seat. But my job and my obligation and my integrity dictates that, hey, I'm going to lay all the cards on the table. These are your options. This is my recommendation. But now you have to make the best decision for what's good for you and your family. And then just kind of leave it at that and not pushing people into something that they can afford on paper. You know what I mean? And that's where it really just kind of distinguishes, because at the end of the day, I want what's best for the home buyer.
For sure.
And the agent. So it's, what I mean?
Again, like you said, it's beyond just the close, because the reality is you could end up working with them multiple times. So it makes sense from a business standpoint, but it also makes sense from a fulfillment standpoint, I think.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to do a business that they can feel like they're really making a difference in.
Yeah.
And making an impact.
And exactly. And in leading with value, like, I like making deposits into the relationship, whether it's helping, giving some scripting, like whatever it is. I like to lead with value because I feel like I'm recovering people pleaser. I'm a natural helper. You know what I mean? And so that makes me feel good. Even if it's the buyer that's not ready to buy 2 years from now. Financial literacy is self-taught. They don't teach it in schools. We have to go to YouTube University or find professionals like myself, to learn it. And so it's just being that knowledge broker and making people feel comfortable, while also saying, here's what you can do, but now let's align your buying power with your goals and really listening to what they want.
I'm curious, again, since obviously most of our audience is real estate agents, in your experience, like, have you seen a distinction between the way that certain agents operate compared to others in terms of your, I guess you would call them best practices or not so great practices in working with the clientele? So like, when you've had amazing experiences with your agents and everything has worked out really well, what are some traits that you've noticed in those situations versus when you've worked with some situations where there's been breakdowns and, things just didn't work out the way they should? Have you noticed any patterns or anything that you can bring up?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think 2 things come to mind. Is one, it's collaborative. Whether you're a buyer's agent, a listing agent, a lender, we're all like working together toward the same common goal. So we don't, buyers agents and listing, they don't need to be butting heads. Like none of us get paid until the loan closes.
Right.
My job is to co-pilot, land the plane on time with the least amount of turbulence as possible and get the job done. You know, and in working with professionals, I always say, listen, I see contracts all day. Doesn't mean I can negotiate one. So it's like, be professional, answer the phone. Like what crazy market are we with so much inventory? And you just see so much feedback about, oh, and I called for a showing and the listing agent doesn't answer the phone. Pick up your phone, work together, be nice. I think the other thing that really stands out is the human element. You know, we are helping people usher them into the next chapter of their lives, whether they're a growing family. You just recently grew your family again, right?
We did.
Downsizing, you know, kids that their parents passed away and it's in a state. There's a human element sometimes that we miss when it's the deal and the transaction, and it becomes very robotic and transactional. So when we plug in that human element and have empathy, and especially the agents that will not allow their time to be monopolized by people that aren't serious, but will take the extra time and be, you know, maybe someone needs a little bit more hand-holding or emotional support. When you plug in that human element, that's when you would take the relationship to the next level. And then you get clients for life that way.
Yeah. And it's, again, so consistent what we've already talked about with the importance of the client relationship. It really works the same way through the agents as well, as you just mentioned. And so I think that's been the common theme of really this whole conversation is the importance of being very client centric, and obviously tied to that is how do you lead first with value so that the relationship is prioritized and not being, I would say, like deal centric, right?
Yeah.
The deals are a byproduct of what happens when the relationship is prioritized. Is that a fair way to put it?
Oh, absolutely.
Good. I'm glad
Perfect. That was a great summary.
Glad we could sum that up. Good.
We need to like ChatGPT that summary. That needs to be a tagline somewhere, y'all.
All right, I want to switch gears and just give some people a little bit more insight on who you are as a person so that they can get to know the real Rebecca Larrea, which ultimately here we are. It's about building these relationships, right? So you mentioned before you're married.
I am.
How many kids do you have, if any?
Two.
Two boys, girls?
My son, Gaspar, is 10.
Gaspar. I like
Gaspar.
That name.
A little not, well, I can't take credit for it. My husband named him.
Was he conceived after Gasparilla?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't even happen to be after Gasparilla. But then we do have the old nod because my husband's Mario is a Tampa native as well. Yes. So it kind of worked out that you're like, okay, we got that nod. And my son is a total Gaspar. And
How old is Gaspar?
10. And my daughter Lachlan is 5.
Those are unique names.
Yeah.
Gaspar and Lachlan.
Yeah. I think it's mainly generally a boy's name.
Yeah.
But it suits her.
What do you guys love to do for fun when you're just hanging out?
Well, my son plays 10U travel baseball. That's his primary sport.
We have that in common as well.
Yeah. So when I'm not, working or in the pool or hiking, we love the woods, Ocala National Forest. My husband and my son dirt bike. I am voluntarily held hostage at random ballparks across West Central Florida. So, are you in
Ocala?
Yeah.
You live in Ocala?
No, I live in Tampa, but we have a second home in Ocala National Forest, just a little place off the beaten path. And that's our happy place in the nature. Get out in nature.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. My son just tried out for his first travel team and he made it. He's going to be 10 in July.
Oh, bless your heart. Get a good wagon.
I know. It's going to be a lot. We live in Land O'Lakes. So
it's a lot.
We play with the Land O'Lakes Little League up there, and his team has done really well. They've won their tournament for the last couple of seasons.
Love that.
But now
you can't push off the travel anymore. I waited.
I tried to.
I know.
He already was invited twice. We rejected the first 2 times. And now all of his friends are doing it. And he's like, I really want to try out for this one. And we did. So, and I know the coach who's running it well because he's been his little league coach. And I've been an assistant coach on the team. So I have some friends there too with the other parents already. So
yeah, welcome to the life.
We'll see what happens.
Travel baseball, our second and third job.
Do you guys go all over the state of Florida, or do you stay pretty local?
No. Our coach is actually great. I mean, there's a lot of great tournaments and places locally that you can play. Right. So I don't need to be going all over the place.
Maybe I'll see you on one of these tournaments one of these days.
I'm telling you, we'll go head to head.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's it's a blessing. I'm in my baseball mom era, and you have little kids. We got one shot at their childhood, Don.
Absolutely.
So we gotta just
appreciate it.
Make it happy. I like, also this industry, because it allows myself and my husband to be at the games and be at the class parties. And
you can craft your schedule.
Well, yeah, because it's like everyone's like, oh, I'm so busy and this is my why. But who doesn't matter if you're working 24/7 for your why if you're not spending time with your why.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
what's your husband do?
Mortgages.
Still, okay.
Yeah.
So but that's not MI, or he's with a different?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah, he is. He's just not, the one to be out on social media.
So are you basically working together, providing the same service?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. And we have a team. I have business partners. Our office is right. I'm pointing like people are knowing what I'm talking about. Never mind, guys. Our office is in really close to Whiskey Cake, actually, which is why those panels are quite convenient in the West Shore Business District.
You have to bring him by. I don't think I've met your husband yet. Does he come to any of them?
No.
Okay.
My husband, it's funny because for years and years, he was the one out having lunches, doing coffee, and then COVID hit. My daughter was like 4 months old, and I would be the one to work from home. And then we flip-flopped. We switched. So now he's like back of the house, and I'm front of the house. And like, let's be real. I love you, babe, but I'm like way better suited for it. Okay. Like I have a way better personality. Like I literally go talk to everyone. Right. And he's like, why are you making me talk to people? But he's amazing. I don't know anything about your wife. She looks amazing and she's beautiful. But I think when you have been married for a long time, your relationship is kind of a yin and the yang.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
So whatever you think.
She locks the home down. She locks everything down.
Right.
I'm just trying to go out there, hustle, and make things happen.
Exactly. Exactly. So he is, not the high energy. He's more reserved, and it just works for us.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, it's good to hear. I'll have to hopefully see on one of these baseball fields one day.
Yeah.
And, see how Gasper's out. Does he pitch? What's his position?
Yeah. He, the coach is great because he moves them around. He's primarily third base and pitcher. And now he started playing on some first base. But nice. The coach likes to move
with our
them
league.
around.
What I thought was interesting is they are requiring them to play in like a rec league too, and then the travel is on top of that.
Oh Lord.
So I don't know does your son just do travel?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So I was just curious how they formatted that.
But and that's where we are in Tampa. But we didn't come from a park where that was required.
Yeah.
But also like we don't watch sports in our house. So it's like quite funny. Like he tried out when he was 5. He has like natural ability. He still likes it. So we're like, all right, I guess we're doing baseball.
Yeah, we're a baseball family. My boys want to watch it every night at home.
Really?
So how do you Northeast, so I'm a Yankees fan.
How do you feel with the Rays being closer now? Or I don't know if it's closer for you.
Well, I like that they're playing at Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went last week, actually. I took Lauren with me, and we went to a Yankees-Rays game. It was actually Tony Baroni, who, shout out to Tony, gave us a couple of free tickets. He has season tickets there.
Oh, I love that.
So, yeah, it was neat. It was neat. So it's a smaller ballpark. It's only 11,000 seats, and it's more of a minor league ballpark, but much better than having to drive up to the Trop, that's for sure.
Right? Yeah. Okay, good. So we got baseball in common. I generally, it's kind of like social hour for me. I don't know all the rules, but my husband's like Rob, the IT department.
She figured it out now. Now she actually is a bit of a baseball fan.
Yeah. So fun fact, pay for the premium subscription of Game Changer. Then you'll get all the stats. There you go. There you go. Yep. Life hacking.
We got the same. The videos are recorded. They're all on there, no doubt. All right, a couple rapid fire questions. Ready?
Okay, ready.
Do you have a favorite book or author, seminar that you've ever attended that you feel like has made the biggest impact on you personally or professionally?
Oh, great question. Outside of my guilty pleasure of like Real Housewives trash TV, I exclusively consume positive content. So I love podcasts.
Yeah.
Like Modern Wisdom, Joe Dispenza, who's into like quantum physics. Lewis Howes' School of Greatness. This year I've read, I don't know the authors, but I've read The Compound Effect, Atomic Habits.
Great book.
Yeah. And
I think Atomic Habits is Clear.
Yeah, James Clear.
Yeah.
And there was one, Procrastinate on Purpose, which I think was Rory Vaden. Mm-hmm. I like Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You're a reader like me. You just like, I consume books all the time. I love reading.
I do. I like it. And my husband literally probably listens to 17,000 YouTube hours. So he's always sending me he's always lining up. He'll text me the next podcast or, oh my gosh, you got to watch this.
Nice.
And a lot of it is just, not only industry specific, but just kind of being on that personal journey to better yourself. And
that's what you said. It's always trying to, I mean, we're not going to get it anywhere else. So you might as well make that investment. It's never ending.
Right. And spiritual growth. And
it's an ongoing journey.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you have a favorite movie or TV show of all time?
You're not going to make me admit this on a
you already said
Facebook
that
Live.
Housewives, so is that it?
No, it's Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh my God. I used to have it. I'm going to age myself now. I used to have it recorded on VHS in college. Okay. So you Gen Zers and millennials, don't judge me. But that was like my favorite.
Is that
one.
how your husband got you? Was the move?
Oh my God, would you die? He literally almost like exited stage left, like when we had our engagement photos, like 10 million years ago. She was like, whisper in her ear and give her a kiss. And he's like, I'm gonna murder this lady. Like, I hate all of this.
That's fun.
I was like, all we need are 2 framers. Keep going. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not like so big into movies.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm sure
you
there's
already
some
answered
good.
it. Dirty Dancing. That's it. It's a classic.
I mean, yeah, I don't like the movies that leave you on a cliff. Like, wrap it up in a bow and let me move on. Don't make me like emotionally invest.
Stuff.
And then like a choose your own adventure book. Like, it's too much for me.
Got it.
And all my free time to watch movies.
Well, we are out of time, but I wanted to wrap up with what I call our legacy question. So this one is about getting you to think deeper again, Rebecca, on when
therapy. Hopefully
many, many years from now, when you're sitting on that rocking chair thinking back to what you'd want to be most remembered for, right? The legacy that you'd want to leave. What are some thoughts that come to mind as far as, what personal or professional, really, what you'd want to be most remembered for? Yeah,
well, I think, this really, rivers run deep here at Tampa Bay Real Producers Podcast, okay? It's like, okay.
We go all over the place, we want to get all the good stuff here.
Yeah, I know. I like it. It's very diverse. You're challenging me to think a little bit outside of the box, which I appreciate. I think just the legacy, it's not so much what we say to people, right? It's how we make them feel. So when I think of legacy, what comes to mind is, our little home in the forest, for example, is one day my kids going there with their kids and having. Now you're going to make me get emotional, and I'll be crying on Facebook Live.
You would be the first. We get people dropping tears here all the time.
Right?
No worries.
This is what I'm saying. This is like real therapy.
We get real, we get raw. That's how we roll here, Rebecca.
I'm going to change my email address. Don't send me the bill for this. But it's really just, my kids being with their family and looking back on their childhood, and like, we were so listened to, we felt so safe, so that they can just blossom into the people that they're meant to be.
I love that. Spoken like a real mom.
I mean, and then
priorities are what matters, right? And the kids definitely, that's the generation that we're leaving behind. So we got to do the right things.
That's what I'm saying. And I want to say, like, I'll just be on the rocking chair sipping iced tea with my husband. That's never happening, because he's going to make me do all kinds of stuff. He'd live off the grid if it was up to him. So I'll be living in the country somewhere, having a farm probably. You never know. He won't let me rest.
That's not a bad lifestyle either.
I know.
That works. I'm trying to talk my wife into getting an RV that we could just travel around the country with. And go to like every baseball stadium for a summertime. I'd be fired up about that. My boys would be too. I don't know if Lauren would be as fired up about it as we would be, but
that's my literal
it's a process.
dream.
We're working at it. It's
fine. Just plead your case. Start having the kids do research.
We're getting her closer. We're getting closer.
It's not a no. If it's not a no, then you got some room.
Yes, we're telling me there's a chance.
That's right. What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Leave the door open.
So, for people who might want to follow up with you, I think a big takeaway, as we've already said from this show, is just about the importance of relationships, right? And figuring out, let's be honest, whoever agents use as far as lenders and other types of preferred partners, most of the time it's just going to be somebody that they vibe with and connect with, right? Yeah. If they feel like they can enjoy doing business with that person, it's not like, yes, there are some differences between what this lender can provide product-wise versus what this lender can provide product-wise. Yeah. But in the reality, most of them can pretty much offer the same things. It's a matter of who are you going to be most connected to and get by with. We all like different personalities for different reasons. So if somebody wanted to follow up with you, Rebecca, pick your brain a little bit more on your journey, your story, questions about lending, of course, what's the best way for someone to reach you?
Oh, that's perfect. I mean, you can find me now, social media, at Rebecca Larrea, mortgagebyrebecca.com. I'm all over the place.
Cool.
Ping me, beat me, send me a telegram.
All right. We'll throw it up on the description as well, so that people can follow up if need be.
Yeah.
We're going to put a bow on the episode the way we always do, which is to call the audience to a call for action, right? And so if you're listening to this live, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it might be, or you're listening on any of the 15 different podcast platforms that we have out there, what is one thing that you can take from our conversation today with Rebecca that would propel you forward personally or professionally if you implement? You even heard Rebecca say earlier that the biggest difference between the top producers is when they hear an idea, they don't let it simmer or wait, they execute, right? And they implement. We talked about a lot of different things today, different things happening in the market, but I think a lot of our conversation was about how you can develop stronger relationships with your clients and become more of an agent known for leading with value, right? And so what's one thing you can consider doing that maybe you're not doing today that would help you propel that element of your business forward? And if you can do that, I think you'll be pretty glad that you did, and it'll make sure that the time you invested in listening to this episode will not be wasted as a result. So we will, of course, see you and follow us at topproducersnation.com. You can see all of the online resources there that we have for you to become a top producer in your desired market, including courses and coaching and weekly calls and all different things that we have in place for you. So check all that out at topproducersnation.com. And if you don't already subscribe to this show, just click the little subscribe button. That way you'll be notified every time a new episode drops, which is weekly here in our program. So we'll see you on the next episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast.